Insider from FEMA Region 6. I'm in former Texas. That's in FEMA Region 6. What former state are you in, Insider?
I'm in former state Tex. I work for the regional agency in formerly known as San Antonio, Texas. One of my duties is public health emergency preparedness planning. The reason I know the Ebola outbreak is being conducted on purpose is it violates all protocols. I used to be involved in the Hurricane Katrina and Rita response of the evacuees. I also was involved in planning for smallpox outbreak in Bexar County. The proper response would be the National Guard would seal off Bexar County. Law enforcement and emergency services would redirect the population to all hospitals, churches, and other government agencies where they would be screened. If they were sick, they would be isolated at a former military base until the sickness had passed or they died. Everyone else would be forcibly vaccinated. There would be no exceptions and no travel in and out of Bexar County. So the fact that they're allowing people to travel into the United States and they are not locking down the city of Dallas tells me this is by design.
Well, yes, sir. I don't need to be an emergency manager like you to know that, because that's always been the default in the United States Department of Homeland Security, Federal Emergency Management Agency national program manuals. But people do tend to listen to experts. We love to get your perspective on this. What are your colleagues saying? It's always been default protocol. Don't let people with Ebola fly in. It's always been quarantine countries that have a major outbreak. That's what everybody else has done. It's always been don't bring Ebola patients into the U.S., treat them in third-party countries or on ships. Why do you think the defaults have been brought off, and what are your colleagues saying?
My colleagues are saying that the travel should have been ceased, that the outbreak should have been contained in Africa, through the military, through the United Nations, and whatever other agencies would help contain it. The fact that it's being allowed to travel to the United States is insane. The fact that the emergency operations have not been activated is insane. And this is on purpose and by design.
And I feel guilty every minute that I'm not up here freaking out more. I mean, I don't know what we do, though, when we have a criminal federal government that just, whatever's evil, you can guess they're going to do it. How are they going to get away with it when this starts, God forbid, spreading everywhere? How will they get away with opening it up to do this? I just don't understand it.
There are many competent people in the CDC, the military, and emergency management offices that need to blow the whistle. They're being ordered to stand down from the top.
Clearly, Rick Perry would score 1 billion political points and do the right thing if he'd have come out last Wednesday at that press conference 2 days after it was announced, a day and after it was announced, and said, ladies and gentlemen, the president needs to cease flights or at least put heavy screening in on West African flights inbound to the United States. None of that's done. Bobby Jindal finally yesterday came out, and on Friday came out and said exactly what I've been saying. Why is he the only one saying the default common sense thing?
I think there's a large amount of corruption. I think a large amount of government officials are either being blackmailed or are part of the system. They need to wake up.
I hear you. And I guess the American people have green-lighted the establishment doing over-the-top stuff like this because they never get in trouble. They never get in trouble for the bad stuff they do. And I'm fed up. I mean, nobody in my family better get this, because I have just, and all these kids getting sick and dying if they got vaccinated with these mystery respiratory illnesses. I mean, I have had enough. And the establishment needs to know we know who to blame here. Bare minimum, they stood down on purpose. It's incredible. Thank you for the call. So evil. So crazy. So out of control. Why? Why? Well, because we got a bunch of exterminists, genocidalists, eugenicists that run things. I mean, that's who they are. That's their club. Remember the ABC News headline 5 years ago? Super rich meet in secret to discuss how to reduce population. Bill and Melinda Gates, Ted Turner, Prince Charles, all of them. And they all got a bunch of kids and, like, have the biggest footprint you can imagine. They're a bunch of greedy elitists that think we're a bunch of dumb scum that deserve to die. And you know what? We act like dumb scum. They announce what they're going to do everywhere, and then we just say, oh, thank you. Let me buy my granny a teacup with the British family on it. I mean, they're not even British. They're Transylvanian.
You are watching the best of The Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.